set up all kinds of future movie plots in which the elegant, sophisticated black man fights against small-town white prejudice. But the point I want to make is that the guy who slaps Sidney Poitier is obviously not a redneck. He's way too effeminate. He's about to cry in the scene. Rednecks don't cry. A redneck doesn't slap you, either bust you in the jaw with a fist or he lies in wait with a shotgun. So the guy in that scene is not Scots-Irish. He's obviously a descendant of the Anglican planter class, the rich guys who owned the slaves. And it's actually a very accurate depiction of that particular social class, because I went to school in Nashville, Vanderbilt University. I had college professors who were that guy. I know 12 guys like that. But for some reason, this character type disappears from the movies at this point, and he's replaced by the redneck. Rednecks didn't have slaves. A redneck wouldn't know what to do with a slave. It'd be like having a guy from out of state living on your property. So Hollywood always assumed it was the redneck who didn't like minorities. Look, why did Kentucky and Missouri, which most people regard as southern states, never join the Confederacy? Too many rednecks lived there. They couldn't get the votes. Why was Tennessee the last state to join the Confederacy? Because the rednecks in the eastern part of the mountains refused to support the asshole slave owners in the west until Lincoln sent federal troops into East Tennessee. And then they said, oh my God, it's a whiskey rebellion all over again. Okay, we'll fight. Why does West Virginia exist? Because the rednecks seceded from Robert E. Lee's home state, okay? But Hollywood twisted it into the reverse. The sophisticated Southerner, the descendant of the asshole plantation owners, becomes the progressive voice in the South, and the redneck becomes the symbol of evil. And the film that made that absolutely clear was Easy Rider, 1968. In Easy Rider, the motorcycle riding hippies are traveling in the opposite direction of most road movies. Road movies always go east to west. This movie goes west to east, from Free Love, California to hateful Mississippi, to show that they're riding against the grain, they're challenging the status quo, making it clear that once they leave New Orleans, they're entering the Deep South, and the Deep South is redneck country, so they can't be allowed to live. As soon as you see the gun rack in the back of that pickup, you kind of know what's going to happen to Dennis Hopper, don't you? Because it's a redneck. Now, I can use a lot of examples in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s to show that this idea becomes totally commonplace in the movies. You got Early and Adele in California. Brad Pitt is the psychopath. Juliette Lewis is the sexually abused girl. They get picked up by a couple traveling cross country. Where do they pick them up? In the South. You don't have to explain how they got the way they are. They're rednecks. Joyride. What's Joyride? Two college students and a black sheep brother decide to play a prank on a trucker. The trucker, his handle is Rusty Nail, turns out to be a killer. This movie was so popular, by the way, that they made sequels in 2008 and 2014. My point is, you never even see the trucker, but you know he's a redneck. The remake of Straw Dogs, the original Sam Peckinpah movie was in Cornwall at the southwestern tip of England, but the remake is in rural Mississippi. Rednecks try to rape Kate Bosworth because she's there and succeed, so James Marsden has to kill them all. We don't have to explain why they're rapists, they're rednecks. And I'm not even mentioning the movies that are about pure D racism. Heart of Dixie, did anybody see this? Bless your heart if you didn't go to this. The Brat Pack Goes to Auburn. Alice Sheedy, Virginia Madsen, and Phoebe Cates are co-eds at a bigoted Auburn University in the 50s. Very didactic movie. Ghosts of Mississippi, the Medgar Evers case. James Woods is great in this as the slimy Byron Della Beckworth. Has an all-star cast. Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, William H. Macy. Here's my question. Was that really brave in the year 1986 instead of the year 1966? Normally that would be an episode of Forensic Files, but Rob Reiner couldn't pass up a chance to preach about racism. Even worse, Mississippi Burning. Gene Hackman and Willem Dafoe were FBI agents. It's based on a real-life murder of 3 civil rights workers in 1964. Once again, could have used this level of Hollywood clout 2 or 3 decades earlier. These are basically lectures to the choir about racism. And by the way, the #1 state that Hollywood uses if they want to make a movie about the South, always Mississippi. And you know why? Because they never repair anything in Mississippi. So when the location manager goes there, he says, I'm trying to recreate this 1937 drugstore in the Delta. So some guy picks up the phone and says, hey, Cletus, open up the old drugstore in Clarksville. Because it's still there from 1937. So Mississippi is great for filmmaking.